Get ready, Ottawa. A fresh dumping of snow is coming our way. Environment Canada issuing a snowfall warning for the capital region and warns we could see between 15 and 25 centimeters of snow when all is said and done. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan. Time to put the shovels and snow blowers on standby. Ottawa's in for a major snowfall starting tonight, and commuters should prepare and give themselves extra time for what could be a messy morning on the roads.
The morning commute will be rather difficult and treacherous, perhaps, in some areas. I mean, this kind of snow is fluffy snow, so it can be picked up easily and deposited several times before it begins to settle down.
Environment Canada says along with the snow, the weather system will also bring a sharp drop in temperatures, and with the recent warm weather, it means the snow that melted could rapidly freeze and make sidewalks and roadways very slippery. With more on the incoming snow, let's go live to our Jackie Perez, who is in the Heron Gate community for us right now. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. I mean, you said it yourself. We've had a stretch of mild temperatures here in Eastern Ontario, which has led to a lot of snow melt. So there's been a lot of puddles even here in Sandalwood. And the thing is that a lot of it melting, still slushy, and it is going to get colder with terms of conditions. So we are expecting slick roads, slick streets. But then in addition to this, the snow that's on its way beginning later this evening into tomorrow. Now, taking a look at conditions right now, we're seeing a pause in the rain that we had seen for most of today, but we are anticipating some light snow and flurries moving through as we head into the overnight. The big question, though, on many people's mind, when can we expect this snow? Well, taking a look now, Kingston, Brockville, this is around the midnight hour. That's the greatest chance that Kingston and Brockville could start to see the snow moving in. The greatest chance for heavy snowfall here in Ottawa could begin in the early hours of tomorrow morning, making it, again, a messy, slick commute, not just for the morning, but for more of a challenge in the afternoon as well. This has prompted a snowfall warning in effect for pretty much all of Eastern Ontario. Environment Canada anticipating between 15 to 25 centimeters of snow from now until tomorrow night. But again, right now, temperatures across the region sitting between 2-3 degrees. We are tracking how quickly the snowstorm is moving. We'll have those details for you and much more for your long-term forecast in just a bit. Stefan.
Thank you for this, Jackie. In other news, Ottawa residents will soon be the new owners of a landfill in the city's East End. Council voting to go ahead with the sale of the Capital Region Resource Recovery Centre. But many details are still hidden under a non-disclosure agreement. CTV's Leah LaRocque is here with the latest for us. Leah.
Well, Stefan, it's no secret that Ottawa does have a garbage problem. The current dump at Trail Road is running out of space, and the mayor calls this a unique opportunity, saying it isn't every day that a private landfill goes up for sale, which we still don't know the price tag. So is this piece of land that you're looking at right now a solution to Ottawa's garbage problem? City Hall thinks so. Council voting 20-5 to move forward with buying the 192-hectare planned private landfill. Right now it's owned by Taggart Miller Environmental Services. But as Stefan said, until that sale is final, Council is bound by a confidentiality agreement. The mayor insists this is still in the city's best interest.
I think we also have to look at it through the lens of risk management. This site is going to be a landfill. It's been approved to be a landfill site. It will be a landfill site. The question before us was simply whether it would be owned by the people of Ottawa, where the City of Ottawa would be able to take input from the community and apply that to future decisions that are made about the landfill site.
Senior staff will now negotiate an agreement to buy the landfill, and they will report back to councillors once the deal is finished. That is expected to happen by the end of March, but because of that confidentiality agreement, we won't know the price tag or any other details until the ink is signed. So in Carlsbad Springs, not far from the site, residents don't like this secrecy, and they worry about the environmental impacts. Stefan, we spoke to the councillor. She says she's going to be as transparent as possible, but again, can't say much because of that non-disclosure agreement.
All right, lots of people waiting to hear more on this. Thank you for the update, Leah. Kindergarten registration for next fall is now open, but some parents are raising concerns about the future of their elementary schools, as some have stopped accepting new students. This as the Ottawa Carleton District School Board moves ahead with its plans to eliminate alternative schools and Middle French Immersion. CTV's Caitlin Wilson joins us with more. Caitlin.
Yes, Stefan, for many parents, this means a lot of unknowns. Families being asked to make big decisions, whether to change schools, even split up siblings, all while they wait for clarity on the future of their schools. In an email to parents last month, Education Director Stacey Kay said there would be no new junior kindergarten programs in alternative schools this September and no transfers into the alternative system going forward, adding there's no immediate plan for phasing in new programming. Meanwhile, some parents have also been told this upcoming school year is their last opportunity to enroll in Middle French Immersion before it too is phased out. Now parents are raising concerns, saying they're being asked to make decisions without a lot of information as they worry about the future of their schools.
It's hard to put into words how you feel about just seeing a school that's so nice and so great and like perfectly accessible, just to have only a few students in there and what that impact's going to have.
We need some solid information to help us make decisions. And I think our priority would be having a commitment from the school board that early French immersion will be implemented.
And on top of potentially changing schools, parents say they will also have to factor in long wait lists for before and after school care. And CTV News reached out to both the school board and Ministry of Education, but has not heard back. Stefan?
CTV's Caitlin Wilson reporting live for us. Thanks, Caitlin. More than a dozen Ottawa organizations made their pitch for funding today in the lead up to the province's next budget. Among the submissions, a call from the Queensway Carleton Hospital to fund new healthcare technologies and improve patient care and wait time. CTV's Austin Lee was at today's pre-budget consultation, and he joins us live now in studio. Austin.
Well, Stefan, the Queensway Carleton Hospital remains over capacity as the community is still dealing with a wave of influenza cases, and that's clogging up hospitals right across Ontario. The hope now is that AI healthcare technologies can help to alleviate some of the pressure. The Queensway Carleton Hospital is requesting a $15 million injection of funding over the next 3 years for the establishment of a new AI healthcare tool that not only would serve the West Ottawa Hospital. The pitch is for others across Eastern Ontario to also be able to tap into the funding. According to the submission from the QCH, some of the proposed tech is already in use at Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto, and since then, the hospital there has seen a drop of about 55% when it comes to waiting for a doctor, and that's freed up more than 700 hours of emergency room capacity. Others can help to prioritize patient care.
Using artificial intelligence, they're able to take numbers that are recorded from nursing staff, like your blood pressure, the rate that you're breathing, your pulse rate, and predict using predictive analysis which changes may well represent a sinister turn of events for that patient.
Now, the Queensway Carleton Hospital is also hoping to see funding set aside in the next provincial budget to expand overall capacity. The emergency department there was initially built to see 63,000 patients per year, but right now the hospital says it's seeing north of 83,000 patients. The exact release date for the 2026 Ontario budget is not yet clear, but it will likely be released in either March or April. Stefan.
CTV's Austin Lee reporting for us. Thank you, Austin. A public service worker is calling out the federal government's insurance plan after drug coverage for her chronically ill daughter was denied. Julie Jouette's daughter, Lily, was prescribed a weight loss drug after cancer treatment, but her plan will not cover the cost because the drug isn't approved for use in children under the age of 12. Jouette says her daughter has been prescribed off-label drugs before and believes the decision should be overturned using logic and compassion.
I'm really disappointed that the sole reason they're denying it is Lily's age. That's exceptionally disappointing for me and very worrisome about insurance being able to dictate treatment for kids.
A Canada Life spokesperson says while it empathizes with all those who are facing difficult health challenges, the Government of Canada determines what is covered under their plan, and Canada Life must administer claims in compliance with it. One of the busiest commuter corridors in the city was partially blocked for the second day in a row as city crews worked to repair a broken water main. Today, emergency repairs blocked the eastbound lanes of Baseline Road between Fisher Avenue and Lexington Street after pipes broke underground twice on Tuesday.
When they flushed that line as part of a final process, the water main ruptured again. It does call into question the age of water infrastructure. At what point do we renew it before we have these types of breaks?
The water main has now been fixed. It's made of cast iron and was installed back in 1957. Coming up on CTV News at 5, with Ottawa heading towards the municipal elections later this year, should voting online be an option? Also, here's a live check on traffic right now at O'Connor. Things are looking well, going in both directions. Some of the slowdowns are in the westbound lanes along the 417, starting around Bronson and certainly building as you get to Parkdale, stretching out towards Pinecrest. Riverside eastbound also busy at this time. We'll be right back. Welcome back to CTV News at 5. More than 200 municipalities across Ontario have the option of casting their ballots online in municipal elections. But what about here in Ottawa? The city has explored online voting in the past and says a report will be brought to City Council in March, including information on alternate voting methods. Today's radio question of the day is asking, should Ottawa have online voting in its elections?
Yeah, online voting is great. We did it in Carleton Place last municipal election, and it's pretty successful. I mean, there's going to be individuals that sort of like that experience of going to a polling location to cast their vote, but for most people, it's very convenient. You can do advanced polling, so you have a week to submit your vote, and it's done online, quick and easy.
Christy Cameron is here with more on this. And Christy, for people who may have not participated in something like Carleton Place doing online voting, I think they're wondering, well, like, how do you trust the process? We talk about hackers so much and digital security, but they're saying it works, quick and convenient.
Yeah, I mean, some places have been doing this since 2003. Markham, Ontario has had online virtual voting since 2003. Vaughan does it, and over 200 municipalities in Ontario have already got the ball rolling. Now, I spoke to an expert today on the show, Nicole Goodman. She's writing a book about online voting, digital democracy, and she said actually a lot of the problems with cybersecurity and safety come down to human error, and they're very fixable. Okay, very fixable indeed. Okay, so it works in all these other places, and Ottawa, we're not really considering it, but there's gonna be a report. We're a bigger city, bigger municipality than some of these others. Yeah, we reached out to the city of Ottawa because we were curious about this, and we got a pretty non-committal response, letting us know that like any alternate voting method, they are looking into it. There's a report coming before Ottawa City Council in March of this year, and they're looking at expanded voting options, but you know, nothing has been confirmed. I would say the majority of our listeners today were somewhat interested, a little bit concerned, but they see the upshot in this. Well, convenience. You can vote from anywhere in the world. And hopefully, and you should. Please vote. Higher voter turnout, but apparently some of those municipalities didn't see that, right? Yeah, no, Sarnia actually saw a lot of people wanted to vote online, and more people voted online than in person, but voter turnout overall did not go up. It went down. Very interesting. Thank you for this, Christy. You can join the conversation and leave a comment through the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. You can listen live to Christy Cameron on News Talk 580 CFRA, weekdays from 2 to 6. And now watch Christy's segments anytime on YouTube. Subscribe to the News Talk 580 CFRA page. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Ottawa Mayor Mark Sutcliffe and his family giving a senior cat with some health challenges a forever home. Stay with us. Coming up later tonight on CTV, E-Talk starts at 7, followed by Shifting Gears at 7:30. Then you can watch an episode of The Masked Singer at 8, followed by Fear Factor House of Fear, and then Shark Tank at 10. Now for another check on the weather forecast, Jackie is live in the Herongate community for us tonight, Jackie, and lots of snow on the way.
Yes, lots of snow on the way. I mean, we've had several bouts of snow in November, in December, even this past weekend. But what's different for the snowfall that's coming for the overnight into tomorrow is really we've had a week's worth of just mild temperatures, lots of snow melt and puddles. So to see temperatures go from 7 degrees and then into the overnight about minus 13 and then a lot of snow moving through, yeah, it's going to be flipping that switch on to get that winter gear back out and for us to readjust as well. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam showcasing Elgin Street and Spark Street. It is 3 degrees, so still very mild. Clearer roads, lots of puddles on the streets as well, but anticipated it could be slick as we get down to cooler temperatures starting this evening. And closer look at our satellite and radar, we can see that it is pretty clear for now. We did have a lot of rain moving through, but the watch and warning that is in place is for a snowfall warning. So starting as early or into the closer midnight hour, about into tomorrow morning and into the evening, 15 to 25 centimeters expected for snowfall. Depending on where you are in the region, how much are you planning to get? Well, here in Ottawa, midnight, we're likely going to start seeing some light snow moving through. Temperatures have already dipped to about -8. And then tomorrow morning, temperatures going to be -13, feeling more like -23. Don't be surprised to wake up to between 5 to 6 centimeters of snow. And then that will steadily continue about a centimeter per hour moving through well into the evening. So treacherous conditions, lots of snow moving through, and not just here in the Seaway. Periods of light snow already moving through the overnight, -10 degrees. Snow will be heavy at times for Kingston and Brockville. -7 will be the daytime high. So a lot of this snow is focusing along southern Ontario, focusing along the lake as well. Along the valleys, temperatures about -18. Some flurries could be moving through. The afternoon snow will also be heavy at times. -12 is going to be the daytime high. So this is what we're going to see for Thursday. It is going to be lightening up by the time we get to Thursday evening, clearing for our Friday. As we take a closer look at the next 5 days, -9 is going to be about the daytime high for Thursday. Friday, -5. Periods of snow will continue. Saturday, temperatures will start to warm up, but flurries will likely be sticking around for the next several days. So we'll be a little bit till we see the sunshine return here in the capital. And are you ready to tackle your home projects? We'll find hundreds of trusted experts at the Ottawa Home and Remodeling Show on from January 29th to February 1st at the EY Centre. And we have your chance to win big. That's right, 4 tickets to the show. You can also see that one lucky viewer will win the grand prize, a package that includes $2,500 in gift cards, 4 tickets to the Ottawa Home and Remodeling Show, and a meet and greet with Sarah Richardson. All you have to do is head over to ctvottawa.ca to enter now. Wishing you the best of luck. Now, Stefan, we are hanging out here at the Heron Gate Community Rink. So the boards are up, but not so much the ice. And a couple of weeks ago, this area was looking for volunteers to help turn this place into a wonderful outdoor community rink. And we have these volunteers who have stepped up. We'll hear from them in the 6 o'clock. Stefan.
All right, that's lovely to hear. Thank you, Jackie. Here's a look at the stories you're checking out right now on ctvnewsottawa.ca. If you go to our homepage right now, we have all of our top stories covered. And of course, we're going to be watching that storm for you. But if the police are also asking for your help, maybe in a human trafficking case. So they're seeking possible victims in this case. The suspect's picture is on our website, ctvnewsottawa.ca.
We are embarking on the 48th edition of Winterlude.
Coming up for us here on CTV News at 5, Winterlude kicks off later this month with programming back at Confederation Park for the first time since 2018.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Current temperature, 3 degrees. Then time now for a look ahead to CTV News at 6. Here's Patricia Bull.
Thanks, Steph. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
The morning commute will be rather difficult and treacherous, perhaps, in some areas.
Environment Canada has issued a snowfall warning for the capital with up to 25 centimeters of snow for some parts of our region on the way.
When the province introduced this camera idea, they said it was all supported by data. So where's the data to suggest that it needs to be taken down now?
2 months after the province banned speed cameras, new numbers show more motorists are hitting the gas instead of the brakes.
We're so proud of that show. Basically, I mean, I don't think I'm exaggerating by saying the hottest show globally right now.
Heated rivalry, a major win for Bell streaming service Crave, but it's not always that easy to produce a winner. We cover a challenging but promising business landscape in a New Year's sit-down with the president and CEO of our parent company, BCE. All of that and more coming up tonight on CTV News at 6. That's right after the early edition of CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo at 5:30. Steph.
Thank you, Patricia. Now for the final 5 other stories we're following today. Winterlude is just around the corner, and Canadian Heritage is announcing today what's happening for this year's festival.
What's really exciting over at Snowflake Kingdom is we're actually going to be including this year a great big giant Ferris wheel.
The 48th Winterlude will be held here in Ottawa and Gatineau from January 30th until February 16th. Activities will take place in Confederation Park and at Jacques Cartier Park. Activities include the ice carving exhibition, snow slides, and giant screens this year at Confederation Park showing the Olympics. That's Hollywood star Jeff Goldblum announced today as one of the headliners for this summer's Ottawa Jazz Festival. He will be coming to Ottawa in June, performing with the Mildred Snitzer Orchestra. Willow Smith is another headliner announced today. That's Will Smith's daughter. Tickets go on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Bill McCrary. Here's Zoop scores!
Sens breaking the four-game losing streak on home ice last night. Ottawa faced off with Vancouver and came out on top. The final score 2-1 for the Sens. The team back in action tonight in New York City to play the Rangers. Newly signed Sens goalie James Reimer's dressing for tonight's game. Puck drop is at 7:30.
It back once again through traffic and they score!
While the Sens were able to end their losing streak, the Ottawa Charge were unable to continue their winning ways. They lost to the Victoire 2-1 last night in Montreal, putting an end to a 6-game winning streak. Up next, the Charge head to New York for a game against the Sirens next Tuesday. Also, Ottawa Mayor Mark Sutcliffe has a new pet. He and his family adopted this senior cat from Furry Tales Cat Rescue. It does have an infectious disease called feline immunodeficiency virus. Furry Tales says Sutcliffe is setting a great example, showing that cats with the virus can live long, happy lives and that senior cats still have lots of love to give. The cat was named Tofu, but Sutcliffe has renamed him Bruce. That is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Be sure to join us for CTV News at 6. The early edition of National News starts now.